People, I'm Steve Rude. We're standing in my Arizona studio. 40 years ago, this comic book came out. The year was 1981. The current year is 2014. We've come a long way since then. The book that was created by myself is Artist and the author, Mike Barron. We're here to talk about what's been going on with Nexus. A lot of you have been asking, where is Nexus? Is it still being published? Is it still being part of the comic book pantheon of news? Well, no, it's not, because no one reports on it. That's the way things are nowadays. Big difference from the 1980s and the 1990s. However, yes, it is very much alive and being published. It's got two versions out right now. One by author Mike Barron, and another one which is actually scribed by myself, Steve Rude, as well as drawn by. So look for both books. You can have double the pleasure that way. So what physically can I show you that will bring you up to date and everything? Well, how about some pages here, okay? These are the original size pages that I've been working on this size right here. It's literally the size of a Sunday newspaper. So you can see I'm working very large, and working large is a real treat for me. So I'm just going to randomly show you a couple pages here that were presented to me by the Rude Dude team as to how things are drawn up here. The lettering is mine, the drawing is mine, the inking is mine, even the zip-a-tone is mine. Various pages of this and that. The storyline is the second in a series of books here. I see Nexus is on none of these here. The ultimate goal of what I'm doing nowadays is to produce gigantic artist edition books that are hugely thick, with tons of extras, and that feature everything you could ever really want as a collector. One, we show the actual story, and that would be this right here. Second, if I can actually hold this up in time here, we show the actual pencil art that we have easy access to scan these days. So that's a big treat. People always want to see the how things start out. The second thing that makes up this 300-page volume, this is a big book, is the inking. This is what it goes from pencil to inking. And everyone knows by now what inking means, because the comic book community knows all these terms. Unlike myself, when I was in high school, I thought inking was when you printed it in color. I thought that was the printing ink. And the final thing back here are a bunch of extras on how we do things. These are both articles from myself and Mike Barron. What else do we have for extras here? Oh, we have Coffee and the Dude by Bill Wisp. This thing is Bill Wisp. This thing is incredibly funny. It's meant to kind of offset the seriousness of Nexus. And it's a single-page strip that is that I approved of, and I think it's just wonderful. A great addition to what we're doing here. The Moth. Oh, let's not forget about the Moth. People have been asking about the Moth. Well, ask no more. Here's an introductory page of the Moth, and here is some actual preview pages that are going to be coming up in the new oversized editions of the new Nexus material. Is there anything else I forgot about here? Oh, you want to be able to paint Captain Kirk? Well, this is how I do it. And if you want to draw the beautiful blonde girls, well, this is how I do that. Mm. So there's that. And this is the ultimate destination of where these books are going to arrive at. In the meantime,
we have a question.
We have a question. Fire away, people.
Someone said, is there going to be a trade paperback collected edition in 9x12 like the Gormondo one?
Well, yes. Amazing. This guy must be prescient here.
That's exactly what we're doing.
In fact, well, as you heard it from the producer behind the camera here, that's exactly what we're doing. As you know, the Gormondo book, which is this right here, had 3 incarnations. 1, a small comic book size edition. 2, the 9x12 paperback edition. And then there's finally these right here, which will be released in that order. So yes, there will be a 9x12. Thanks for asking. Here are the books in order that they were published right here. before we go to this giant size here that you saw, we want to do individual comics. It helps keep Root Dude afloat. So there's the first issue right there. These are not in cover order here. That is the second cover right there. This is a series of 5 books that make up the entire story, but in this case, serialized in individual comics. Oh, this one's actually cover front here. This is the 3rd issue right here. Things are building up story-wise, just like all good comics should. And what do we have for the 4th issue? Ah, well, here is the 4th issue. I just happen to have it handy. This is the cover for that. Things are building up even more from last time. We have a letters page too, something that comics don't even have nowadays. And just yesterday, this arrived from the printers. This is the 5th issue right here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and what comes after 2? 1, you guessed it. 5 comics, all individual issues that make up the entire story of Thuneworld. So get this first if you want to help us out, and then you can get the issues preceding after, coming after that. Okay, I said preceding. That's the wrong word.
Someone said, "Are we gonna get another oversized collection of the new story?"
Well, the oversized edition comes in 2 forms right here. The one that I've always intended from the beginning is this giant artist edition. But the previous question asked was, is there going to be another edition more affordable? Yes, there is. That's a 9x12 paperback edition. It's not a hardcover. So
Yeah.
we save costs on that, and so do you. The big treat coming up here is I have produced 2 new, outstanding new painted covers that are going to be featured in the paperback edition for the Battle for Thuneworld, the story we're talking about, and the issues we just showed you here. And, oh, here come the blowhards. Here comes the big blowhard right here. She wants to be part of the act. Hello, Bigness. You want to read? You know how to read? Okay, well, you need to know how to shake first. So here, featured here for the very first time, are 2 brand new cover paintings that I've done. Some of you may recognize the theme of this from a long time ago. In fact, it was in Nexus number 1, the issue I showed you earlier. And this is a color rendition of what we saw in the very first edition of Nexus, which is a fold-out poster. For those of you who have that early issue, this is a recreation. I thought I might do it just to test my skill level. So if you like this and you're happy with it, then I am too. The second thing coming up, instead of something that's been painted in acrylic, is, I have to grab these right here because this is wet oil paint. It's this 2x3 new cover, which has no bearing to anything in the past. It is a total brand new creation. It is just kind of a Nexus themed thing in general, and it's painted in oil paint. And it's on canvas, as you can see, and it's 20x30. Pretty cool, huh? I'm actually trying to use dryer in my oil paintings recently. Guess why? On the board here, for whatever you might have interest in, this is a pinup that was done in the 1940s by one of my favorite artists named Head and Sunbloom. Also pitched in by a guy named Charles Showalter. But Sunbloom came in, wanted to fix a few things, and of course he did because he's the boss. So general interest on that, what's going on the board. Trading cards, remember when those were really big? Well, I don't know how big they are anymore, but I did a couple of them, and I've been trying to get the reason why you might have an interest in these things. And the reason is,
with Comictopia, we are collaborating with Baker Cat Studios, and the theme of their trade paperback is, the name of their comic is called Red Skirts, and basically it is a love letter to Star Trek. When you back both our projects, you get a duo set of trading cards, which you can see on the crowdfunding page. And these Star Trek trading cards were done just for fun as part of the theme for Baker Cat Studios. And the Nexus trading card is part of our trading card. It appears on the back.
Okay, so you heard it from one of the producers of Rude Dude 103. Here's Captain Kirk, the first card I did for the aforementioned program. In order, the second one. Who remembers her, the pretty blonde from the second pilot? Well, I sure remember her. From 1965, and I know you remember her. Anyone who forgets her is not male, biologically. And finally, the Nexus trading card that I did. These are all done for the fun of it, but they're also there if people have any interest in owning one of these. So that is it for now. I'm gonna end by holding this up again here. Boy, this thing is 22 by 30, so it's huge. It's done in a watercolor board, 300 pound, and it's mostly done in acrylics, something that I haven't touched in a long time. So there you go. There's nothing else to mention. I'm glad you tuned in.